What's up, everybody? Welcome into another episode of Bulls Latest. Your host, Matt Johnson here. I want to kick off today's show by talking about a cycle that is painful for Bulls fans, and kind of what we're looking at, what Bulls fans have gone through, is really a cycle of wasted potential for a lot of these players. It's a pattern Bulls fans know all too well. The team drafts a promising young player, flashes of talent are shown throughout the first few seasons, development stalls while confidence kind of fades, and the team stays stuck in the middle of the standings. We've seen this for far too long. Where does the blame lie? Blame is then placed between the player and the front office, and eventually the player leaves, often to thrive in a different uniform. It's ever so frustrating for Bulls fans to see a guy leave and then jump onto the scene with another organization and just start hooping. It would be far too easy to call it bad draft luck, and sure, you can cut the front office some slack for a missed pick here and there, but every team whiffs on draft picks every once in a while. This problem runs even deeper. It goes far beyond that. Time and time again, Chicago drafts talent only for it to plateau and underperform for as long as the word Bulls is stitched across their chest. Now, what is the reason that this keeps happening and this cycle continues even with new front offices and new executives? To me, the reason is clear. The Bulls do not invest nearly enough time and money into their player development system or their young core. I think both go hand in hand there. I mean, when you look at the most successful player development organizations like San Antonio, Miami, Toronto, and Memphis, they've built their reputations on maximizing talent, turning raw prospects and second-round draft picks into reliable role players and sometimes even stars there. Chicago, on the other hand, let veterans carry the load while young players sit in the corner almost as if they're a decoy rather than the future of the team. The message ownership is sending to the fans seems to be like we're okay being average, and that's very frustrating when you're the Bulls fan base. You don't want to settle for average, yet the play-in tournament the last couple of years consecutively shows that, the Reinsdorf family and the ownership is kind of content on just filling seats and selling tickets there. So I just wanted to throw that at you guys to start today. I know a lot of Bulls fans will probably have a lot to say, so let me know what you guys think of the Bulls cycle in the comments. Do you think it'll change this coming season with Modest Buzelis really arriving on the scene and some of these other young players? I'd be curious to know what you guys think. We had some news come across yesterday in terms of a restricted free agent finally breaking the ice and signing a qualifying offer. That is the Brooklyn Nets' Cam Thomas. He's signing a one-year, $6 million qualifying offer to return to Brooklyn. The Nets were unable to reach a long-term deal with Thomas, so the 23-year-old opted to sign the qualifying offer that gives him a full no-trade clause and allows him to hit unrestricted free agency next summer with at least 10 teams set to have cap space here. Thomas is the first among the final restricted free agents to land on this decision. Obviously, the ones that remain are the ever so prominent Josh Giddey to Bulls fans, Jonathan Kuminga, and then Quentin Grimes. Thomas, it's a crazy stat. I looked at this. Cam Thomas is only the fifth former first-round pick to sign a qualifying offer since 2017, so he's in rare company there. It just kind of gives you an idea where players who are in this category are at in today's NBA. It's a challenging place to be if you're a restricted free agent. I just think it's tough to get a deal done. We're kind of seeing that in our own backyard with Josh Giddey. So kind of switching gears and kind of transitioning over to Josh Giddey himself here. What does this Cam Thomas news mean for Josh Giddey and his camp? I mean, when you look at this, we're sitting here on September 4th. Josh, we have just under a month to go before the deadline for Giddey and an $11.1 million qualifying offer. Obviously, this qualifying offer is about double what Cam Thomas is getting, but the offer that is noted to be on the table for Giddey with the Bulls is a 4-year, $88 million offer, pays him $22 million annually. Now, that's still pretty good money given the slow pace of these restricted free agents in the NBA this offseason. So it's interesting to me that it's taking this long. I really hope that they get a deal done in the next 2 to 3 weeks before the preseason kicks off. That way the Bulls can just move on and kind of, work on that Bulls cycle that's ever been, it's kind of doomed this organization in recent years. Work on developing your young talent. Use Josh Giddey as a pillar to build this franchise up. So I mean, I just want to see it get done. I mean, maybe some of these other restricted free agents will start to get deals done in terms of wanting to sign that qualifying offer. We'll see. I just thought that was interesting to finally see the first domino fall with Cam Thomas there. So kind of wrapping up today's show, looking around the NBA, there was some other notable news here. Mavericks, PJ Washington signed a 4-year, $90 million contract extension. Now, he had one season left on his current deal. I think it would pay him $14.1 million or something along those lines. And now he's ineligible to be traded during this upcoming season. They locked him up. Kyrie and Daniel Gafford also reached extensions this offseason, locking up all the key pieces to the Mavs roster. This team's loading up. I think Anthony Davis and Cooper Flagg and that group are going to be a very exciting bunch in a loaded Western Conference. So there's some news there. This is the craziest story of the week so far. It just kind of surfaced yesterday, but the Clippers are under investigation for believing to have skirted the NBA salary cap with a Kawhi Leonard payment. Now, this is one of the more bizarre stories that we've seen in some time. It does not surprise me, that this is happening. And really, when you look at this, it could be groundbreaking to kind of have other investigations continue. This cannot be the only case that this is happening. Basically, what happened is that Clippers owner Steve Ballmer was accused of circumventing the NBA salary cap by paying $28 million to Kawhi Leonard for a no-show job. The Clippers paid Leonard through a now bankrupt company owned by Ballmer. This is just a very bizarre scene. It's a questionable move by a billionaire, so to speak, and Steve Ballmer just to circumvent the NBA salary cap, and it kind of speaks to the integrity of NBA players, and this is already going to take some heat. There's a lot of criticism to NBA superstars about taking time off in the regular season, resting for load management and things like that. Now, this is just the newest chapter of something that's come about that's going to raise eyebrows, and I know Kawhi Leonard easily, in my eyes, at least in my generation, is probably the most controversial superstar ever. I mean, this guy has all the talent in the world. He's got the rings. He's got the accolades and everything. He's a heck of a talent. But doing things like this kind of question, the integrity of Kawhi Leonard. Does he really have the passion for the game, or is it just about the money for him? It's easy to get caught up in that. Obviously, living in LA and kind of living that lifestyle that he has out there while he's not playing basketball. So, interesting story here. Let me know what you guys think about that whole Steve Ballmer thing. I think it's something that we're going to get more information on, with his bankrupt company there, and the NBA is definitely going to dive into this, and there could be more issues in terms of some similar cases that come about as this one surfaces. So it really could be a groundbreaking thing for the NBA as a whole moving forward. Overall, though, a little bit of a lighter show. I wanted to, talk to you guys about these things as they kind of directly impact the Bulls, and more specifically the Cam Thomas situation. So let me know what you guys think in the comments about what the Cam Thomas situation means for Josh Giddey and the Bulls moving forward as we are fastly approaching the NBA preseason kicking off for Chicago. So as always, I want to thank you guys for joining me on another episode of Bulls Latest, and we will see you guys tomorrow.